to my channel, guys. My name is James. Today we're gonna make some super tasty and delicious garlic roasted potatoes, and we're gonna put a ton of cheese on them. I will also show you how to cut them into wedges as well. And today I decided on doing something a little easier than what I normally do, because it's nice to have some comfort food every now and then. It's nice to indulge every now and then. So you can make this in under about 30-40 minutes depending on your oven. But before we get started today, be sure to like the video down below and check out any of my other recipes and videos that I have up on my YouTube channel, as well as I have many delicious recipes. So let's get started. So the great thing about this recipe is that it's super easy and super simple. We're just going to be using potatoes, cheese, a bit of garlic, oil, and then some spices. And that's it. Super easy. Cheesy wedges. So now for the type of potato that we're going to use today, I'm going to be using Cannybucks. If you have Yukon potatoes, you can use those as well, or russet. But we're going to keep the skin on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the potatoes in the sink, rinse them and wash them very well, because we don't want any dirt on the skin. And then if they have any eyes on them, which are the little sprouts coming out of the potatoes, take those off. You don't want to eat those. Now, to cut the potatoes into wedges is super easy. You're just going to cut them lengthways, top to bottom, turn them, and then repeat the process. And then cut more or less 2 centimeter size portions, or about 1 inch, more or less 1 inch. And then if you have a longer potato than, say, a smaller one, then after you cut the wedges, just cut them in half to be more or less the same size as the smaller wedges. That way everything will cook at the same time, and it'll just speed the process up. Also, don't forget to preheat your oven while doing this, about 225 centigrade, about 450 Fahrenheit, more or less. Now I'm going to take my garlic, I'm going to slice it, peel it, and chop it up very finely. Now, you have an option before you add this to the potatoes. One, you can either rinse the potatoes and remove the excess starch and then dry them off well, because otherwise the oil will not coat the potatoes if they have water on them. Or you can just skip that process and add the garlic straight to the potatoes, oil, add a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, and then of course add a bit of paprika, either sweet or spicy, one or the other. Now you can take the baking tray out of the oven and put some oven paper down, or if you don't have any wax paper, you can use some aluminum. That'll also work. Make sure that you space the potatoes out evenly on the baking tray so they cook at the same time. Pop them in the oven. Put about 12 minutes on the clock to just give you a reminder on checking the potatoes. And then that's it. Now today I'm going to be using a little bit of Manchego cheese, Spanish cheese, and I'm going to be adding a little bit of mozzarella, because mozzarella is a melting cheese, so it's very stringy, so you can tell it's cheesy. Now if you want to substitute this with either a nice cheddar or maybe some jack cheese as well, that would go very nicely with this. I wish I could get jack cheese here, but I haven't been able to recently. Now once the timer goes off, take them out of the oven, flip them and check them as well to see if they're more or less done with a knife. Then you can pop them back in the oven, put them on for another 10 or so minutes, and continue cooking them until they're done. Now another method on checking to tell if they're done is actually using your thumb instead of using a knife. So if you apply pressure and if you can smash one basically with your thumb, it's done. This is a little trick that if you don't always have a knife on you in the kitchen, sometimes you have to improvise. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the potatoes, put them back into the bowl, and add half of the cheese that we cut into the bowl and mix them. Also, if you taste one of the potatoes now and if they don't have enough salt, add a little more salt and give them a toss. Then I'm going to put them in my little terracotta bowl. I'm going to add the rest of the cheese on top and a little bit of mozzarella as well. I'm going to put them back into the oven. And while this is cooking for the last time, I'm gonna take a little bit of fresh parsley, slice some fresh parsley very thinly. Once the cheese is melted, just sprinkle the fresh parsley all over the potatoes as well. I hope you enjoyed these super delicious cheesy wedges, guys. If you have any more questions or comments, then don't hesitate to write me down below in the comment section. And don't hesitate to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and like the video. I have plenty of other recipes on my channel, guys, so have a look to see what you may like and tell me what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Take care.